Hello? I have to admit that until maybe last week, I was not uninformed, but I didn't really take it seriously, maybe.
You know, this time around, it's so broad, everybody's getting it, basically. You know, like after Tom Hanks got it, it was like, oh, that's it. You know, that means anybody can get it.
Yeah, I had just what felt like a bad cold. You know, nasal congestion, runny nose, stuff like that. None of the telltale signs, or what we think are the telltale signs of the virus, because, you know, it seems to present in a bunch of different ways.
Like you hear stories about healthy athletes dying from it, or some older people manage to survive. So it's like just no way to tell how it's going to affect a particular individual. And I am a little bit older and do have some health issues.
Hello? Right now I've opened up my window. I'm exposed to the outside. I don't know. You know, the virus can be transmitted through the air. So I wear face masks. You know, I don't want to take that risk.
You know, I got sick on the 11th. Nobody can get a test. It's like I was thinking a week or so ago, maybe I should go to Canada. It's much easier to get tested up there.
I'm not worried about my families because in China, they're worried about me.
I mean, I had a really bad dream last night, which was really scary. I dreamt that I had to fly home, and I didn't know where home was, and I had all my things. I had to pack them really, really quickly, and I didn't have enough time to pack them. And then I saw, as I had packed, that there was still much more, and I had to make the decisions. What am I going to take with me? Am I ever going to see that again? It feels so much to be out of control, you know?
It's like this sense of purposelessness. Where I'm not able to do anything productive. And the other thing is, like, I'm a trained doctor. Like, I'm a licensed physician back home in India, but I don't have a license to practice here, so I can't really do anything on that front either.
I was depressed over the weekend, and I think that was in part to just having too much time on my hands.
I'm just an anxious person anyway, but during this time I've certainly broken down and you know, had the girlfriend come home from the grocery store and found me on the couch crying. Open window on the third floor there. There he is waving.
Where? Oh, over there. I've had a friend who was actually at my birthday party like 3 weeks ago who now has the virus, and so it's starting to get closer and closer to our inner circle. Eventually it's going to be impossible to hide from this.
My roommate has asthma. He's a lot more scared than I am. And he said he hadn't been feeling well, so... But I'm not going to let him blame me for him getting sick because, you know, yes, maybe he did get something from me, but he could have gotten it anywhere. And even if I did give it to him, it's just part of living together in an apartment.
Oh, God, and seeing all these people with their suitcases, where are they going? There's somebody here again leaving. I've been seeing this whole week. I've been seeing people leave. Where are they going? Do you know where they're going?
He mentioned to me that, he left the city. He said, we're on an island of like 6,000 people just off the coast of such and such, and we just didn't want to be in New York anymore. This coronavirus thing looks like it's getting real, so, we figured we'd get out while the getting's good. And I don't know, as soon as you see the rich people fleeing, it's that was the first moment where I'm like, fuck.
It just astonishes me because in China, people get tested very often, and when you find someone that carries the virus, that person can be quarantined so that the spread of the virus from this particular person can be stopped. Otherwise, if you let these people carrying the virus just going around in the public, and you don't know where they are, and if you don't know who carried the virus, naturally, obviously the spread of the virus will accelerate.
Just the dearth of leadership at the federal level is just so frightening.
Even the best informed among us don't seem to really know what the hell is going on, which is, usually the case, but it's just more apparent now.
It'll be interesting once this is over if anybody brings up a lawsuit against him, once he's out of power, of course, that he was responsible for these many deaths, sort of a class action suit of survivors.
Healthcare professionals and everybody, from the cleaners all the way up to the doctors, are being treated is just, to me, horrific. So,
I was just talking to a friend yesterday. He's a resident at a hospital in Brooklyn. He was telling me that there's someone dying every hour. They have a refrigerated truck outside their hospital because their morgue doesn't have space to store bodies. This is taking like a real heavy emotional toll on them.
I think it's interesting also to see who the real essential workers in our society are,
I feel bad for the people that are out there delivering all these packages right now. And I also feel a little guilty because I have mail ordered some stuff, so I don't have to go out.
I don't think that's ever been more apparent how much we need those people as now. And, chefs cooking our meals so that we can still get delivery even though we're quarantined in here is something that we need to recognize is really, really fucking important.
It seems like everybody on every level is struggling at the moment. So I don't know what's going to happen when this is over in terms of what kind of businesses will there be and how will people be able to make a living and things like that.
There's just so much uncertainty. Well, it's an odd time for all of us. We don't know how far into the future we can look right now.
Yesterday I was looking, I wanted to file for unemployment. And all of a sudden, I did the whole registering thing or signing up thing, whatever. And then all of a sudden I couldn't continue it. It said I forgot what it said, but it was like you can't continue here because maybe they're overloaded or something.
A lot of people do not have a lot of money in their bank account, and when they lose their jobs, when they do not have income, how can they afford their rent and food? This situation cannot last long.
Yeah, it's really hard to say. I hope it's not as parallel to the early 20th century, with the Great Depression and everything, but people are saying it may be, which is like, oh my God.
Fundamentally, society, civility, all of it is just sort of, in real life, I think it's not a facade, but it's flimsy. It's the difference between us being nice to one another and robbing one another is just a matter of degrees. And so sometimes when an externality like a virus comes along and shakes up the economy and the housing market and the jobs market and everything, there's this chance that all of that might just sort of shake apart. And if that happens, then we're back to survival.
Yeah, I mean, I'm thinking a lot about, young people. They might look, in 50 years from now, they might look back and say, "Can you believe what the previous generations, what damage they did, and how was that possible? Because they lived so irresponsibly."
One thing to remember is something like this happening is natural. Humans have faced various epidemics and pandemics, but we still made it through.
These things are kind of bound to happen, This is just the way biology works.
Survival's an innate drive, so I don't think anybody ever really wants to die. But this is being brought front and center, that we have to confront our mortality. And it is scary, yeah.
I want to travel so much more. I want to, start a family. I want to have kids. Yeah, so there's still so much,
I was so looking forward to the spring. But it's a different spring now.
I don't think it makes sense to most people, really. I think we're all feeling our way through trying to make sense out of what's going on. I think all we can keep doing is putting one foot in front of the other and keep moving.